Hola, Madrid. This is welcome back to another episode of Let's Be Real podcast. Um, tonight we are here, well, with a slight bit of hesitation. Let's put it that way, because we have been riding this Mbappe wave this season for quite some time now. Like people really question our actual motive, because most of us on the panel last year were pretty much done with this whole saga, the way how it ended and whatnot. But this year there seems to be some renewed optimism, some scope for something big to happen. And yeah, I think what broke last night was a major turning point in my humble opinion, which I always believed was inevitable. Ever since uh, the renew or sold ultimatum was made public. But yeah, please welcome our esteemed panel, Jacob and Mo. How are you guys doing, man? I'll come to you, Jacob, first. How has this off season been? Some time to uh, re-energize, take a small break. But I haven't exactly given you time off, have I?
I mean, there wasn't a lot of time off, but then I was thinking the initial transfer market, like there won't be any news. We'll be sticking to our current squad, but then there's been a lot of activity, man. Like I did not expect this summer to turn out this way. So it's been refreshing.
Almost five signings.
Yeah. And like this could potentially turn out to be one of the best transfer summers ever for Real Madrid. Super happy about that. On other notes, like I tried to get the Real Madrid jersey. I've been trying to get it for the last month, but then someone canceled my order. Then another order went to the wrong person. I had to reorder it. Finally, I have it. Let's go.
Nice, nice. Do you like the fit? Like, some people were not too impressed, me being one of them. Like, do you really dig it more than last year's home kit?
Nah, man, it just maybe it looks hot on Jude Bellingham, but if I wear it, I can't pull it off.
Yeah, even Tony Cruz as well.
Yeah.
He's basically our in-house model. But Mo, bro, how has it been going? Mbappe thing, I think it's slowly kicking into motion.
Yeah,
Um,
Mbappe thing is like persuading me to do mental gymnastics. So, so yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to do a complete cartwheel from last season when we were like Mbappe can go to hell. Now we are like, yeah, Mbappe is heaven. Mbappe is everything.
I genuinely remember, like, reminding you guys, like, we'll have to backtrack on
Yeah,
whatever emotion we had, like,
I think
and here
even
we
at
are.
the back of
Mm,
the minds, even we knew, right? Because
mm,
like I think it was always accepted that in the future as well, if there will be an opportunity, of course Florentino will go for him.
mm.
Because we are fans. Florentino is like the president, so he has to keep his fandom aside sometimes.
I,
So
I keenly remember how vocal Farouk was. Remember? He's like, no, 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 no way are we, gonna, root for Mbappe, blah blah blah. But in a couple of months he'll be here, chanting Kylian.
nah, in a couple of months, all of us, if he comes to Madrid, right? If he comes to Madrid, all of us will be the biggest Kylian Mbappe fans. Even
100%.
fanboys going on Twitter insulting Haaland and everything. So
I'm pretty sure none of us are gonna go to that extent. But I was very super into the notion that, like, once he actually comes over, like, that there is no going back. Like, we'll be completely behind the man. And yeah, man, a generational talent that can really like move us that step closer to returning back to the returning back to our throne in the Champions League. It's about time. And yeah, like I've always said, without Mbappe, our season's objectives, targets, milestones, everything looks pretty bleak. And yeah, if he comes, it completely changes the equation. But where should we begin, Jacob?
I mean, yeah, man, like we can begin with last night's breaking news. But then, when thought like things might soon hit the fan with the preseason, like the squad heading to LA, I thought like, hey, why is Alvaro actually left out? Does this actually mean something? That's when
Hmm.
that's because like of course Joselu is probably not going to start like every game, right? And I was thinking like even our backup does not have a backup. Come on, like this is probably not the full squad that's going to be featuring for us next season. And then
Jacob was being the guy from Harry Potter reading TDs.
I think Jacob has some ITKs in the mix, because he's basically implying that Joselu Mbappe is going to join us in the US to be Joselu's backup. Yeah.
something like that, yeah.
I actually saw a funny thing on Twitter. Somebody said we're gonna go out against Barcelona, and there's gonna be a plane flying over the stadium, and Mbappe will jump out of it wearing all the parachutes.
Crash land into the stadium, yeah, like
Yes,
ready to be subbed on.
yeah.
That'll be one hell of a sight. That might be something unprecedented. Completely shooting our
Shooting our
our
shot.
shooting our shot and completely elevating our marketing game to a whole new level. And we definitely need it. We don't have the same PR those Premier League clubs, and even Barcelona has, in
Maybe
my
we can
opinion.
get some sponsorship deal for the parachute as well, sir.
100%. Maybe Spotify just to
Yeah,
make
Apple
a
Music,
point.
man. Come on, we don't do Spotify. We listen to Apple Music.
Apple Music, yeah, fair enough, fair enough. Our podcast is hosted by Spotify. That is a shame, but here we are.
But we are
We
available on Apple Music too, sir.
100%, 100%. Yeah, we don't discriminate. We don't shut off our listeners. Right. Before we kind of get into things, we have a few comments. Mojis, big up yourself, man. City fan. He says send Valverde to City to make room for Mbappe. He's basically being our
Maybe they can send Haaland to Madrid to make room for Valverde. So
yeah, that's a good plan. Haaland, Mbappe, Vinicius, boy, who's gonna stop that? So Mojis, before you make such claims, maybe think about what's gonna happen when Haaland leaves. Yeah, and it's gonna be pretty soon. Um, right. Tino says off topic. I was hoping we get Musa Diaby from Leverkusen, then to Aston Villa for 50 million. I have no idea how that happened, man. Honestly, it is just mind-boggling how
I think it
mad.
was more than 50 million. I think it was more than 50 million, right? 60 million or something.
I'm not sure about the fees because I just read it a couple hours back. But the very fact that he's going to a mid-table club in England, where he could have, I'm pretty sure he had so many suitors, right? Like from top clubs all across Europe. But maybe the money.
I don't think so. I think the biggest name I heard linked with him was PSG,
Hmm.
but they got Asensio and everybody and Kangin Lee. So I'm not sure like how serious they were about getting Musa Diaby. I think Musa Diaby is actually from PSG's academy. So I thought with all those talks about it making the team more Parisian, they'll probably go with him. But yeah, nada. So I think in England the biggest name I heard was Newcastle last year, but they were asking like for 100 million or something. So this year, I don't really think there were like many suitors. I think his only other
Why?
suitor was
Why
going
though?
to the
Why
Premier
though?
League.
Isn't he a very good prospect to have around?
I don't think it's fair to classify him as a prospect the same way. I don't
No,
think
not
it's
as a
fair to
prospect. My
classify.
bad. My bad. I put it wrong. Like he's 24, 25, but
Yeah,
as a
yeah.
very good addition to any top squads because he
I
has
think
got the pace.
I think the
Mm,
issue is like yeah, he's got the pace, but his finishing is poor. So this
mm,
season, I think he improved it, and he was better than previously. But I think that's the reason why, at the top clubs, you need players who can make a difference, in key
mm.
moments. I don't really know if he has that.
Tino also adds at least Frimpong, but he is a right back. Impossible. Frimpong was never in the equation, right? Like we would like that to happen, but our club didn't really make any moves.
I don't like Frimpong, man, personally.
Mm,
Like I think me and Farouk we spoke about this as well. I think this guy he cannot defend, and he's
mm,
probably best suited for a right wing back role. And Real Madrid don't play with a right wing back, so. For me
mm.
personally, I don't really see it. I don't know. Maybe other people know better than me because I don't really watch the Bundesliga every week in and week out. So
The thing is, I haven't watched it extensively as well. Like the rare Bundesliga game I watch is maybe the Der Klassiker once in a while. But from what I've seen and heard about him on social media and stuff, like Frimpong is widely liked. Yeah, like people might have the sentiment that he can't defend, but Frimpong is always mentioned in the top five, top three fullbacks in the Bundesliga every year. There should be a reasoning behind it.
No, I think
Um,
people love him going forward. He's pretty good
mm,
offensively. I
mm,
think Farouk was telling me that he used to play as a right mid or right winger. I'm not exactly
mhm,
sure.
mhm.
So yeah, he's pretty much transitioned to a right wing back role, and I think that like that's probably one of the reasons why he's not called to the Dutch national team as well, because probably they think he's better as a right wing back. Although I might be wrong, somebody can correct me. But personally, I think that's my biggest issue with him. But then you're absolutely right that a lot of people on social media do seem to love him.
Mm. Um, Haaland wouldn't downgrade. Come on now. Mujis says, Mujis. Mujis is a level-headed City fan, if I remember. Like I'm pretty sure he's on more than a couple of beers, at this point. So I'll let that slide. ZMap is back again. Big up yourself. He says, still waiting on that FIFA game, guys. The thing is, to get FIFA up and running, I have a team of over 10 people at the moment, yeah, and the only guy who plays FIFA is me. That's a sad reality. And the day that we have at least 4 people on, bro, it's a fix. If you want to play 1v1 with me, send me a DM on Instagram, and I'll send you my PS, and then we can get that underway. But yeah, don't blame me if I thrash you though. San says, have you talked before about the new Bernabeu design? What do you like or don't like? Would you have preferred a different look? I mean, we are not exactly architects over here, it has that futuristic look and stuff. Mm, I would say, like, I'm 50-50 on it. Not a huge fan, not a huge hater as well. And I don't know about you guys, Mo and Jacob, if you have anything to add regarding the new Bernabeu.
I mean, the
Mm,
pitch and the capacity, like the seating area itself, like it's amazing. Like, but I
mhm,
haven't like really seen like what's planned for like the mall, the shopping areas. I'm like,
mm.
like one day when we do visit, like if it's probably like we can plan out a whole day in the Bernabeu itself. So probably like all for the
Or you,
best.
or you, you're saying to the level where the Camp Nou's run, that you'll basically be tagging your fiance along with you so that you can get married. Yeah, is that the
No,
is that the
Sunaid.
end game?
No, man, I thought I'll take you,
Huh?
Sunaid, but then fiance is
Take
okay.
me.
Ma-
No chance.
is it a match proposal? Is it a match proposal between you?
I have
Yeah,
no idea what he insinuated by that, but no homo. Yeah, no homo.
so that I don't really know, because you guys are always talking in your secret language. So never know
Secret
what's going.
language.
You know,
We are from the same place in India. It's not a fault, bro. It's not a fault. That
we
you
don't
feel
really
left
understand.
out. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. But
But honestly, I never pegged Jacob as a guy who could be
yeah.
pinned down by one person. So Sunit,
Wow.
congratulations.
This guy is actually taking this podcast to like yeah, territories that we don't want to be in. Apologies to all our listeners. Mo has some serious hidden motives behind all these statements. I don't know if you want to paint my image in some dark light, some sadistic shit, but I'm not here for it. um Speaking about the Bernabeu, we have some exciting stuff in the pipeline. Hopefully, I'm not sure about the dates, but at least from next week, we'll be having content directly from the Bernabeu. Fan cams, match previews, all of that. So yeah, it's a big move for us. Like it has been something that I've been contemplating ever since um, I started this podcast. And we have someone who has had immense experience in the world of football journalism. He has also worked for RMTV as well. He has some insider, contacts as well. So hopefully it works out, man. I have big things planned for this season. I'm pretty sure it's going to be special. This preseason has already set the tempo, kind of already set the tone. Hopefully, more brilliant things to come. watch this space. That's all I'm going to say for now. Let's get into it, Jacob. Mbappe left out of the squad, basically shunned as an outcast to train alongside not Kylian, Julian Draxler. I mean, Julian Draxler, like I said before we came online, has been a name that I've been hearing since I was in high school. For him to not have had uh, a foothold, a proper, settled career, even now is insane, man. Like I don't understand how that's happening. But yeah, if I was Mbappe and I'm training with Draxler, that's rock bottom, isn't it?
Yeah, man, like Mbappe is the kid from Home Alone, basically. His family left him alone. They didn't take him to Japan. So now he's
So-
His brother. Did they take his brother?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Because I think yesterday there was a friendly and his brother and him played and stuff.
Oh yeah, it was a couple of days ago. Or was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday.
Yeah.
I actually saw a story on his Insta
Yeah, they
where
were celebrating together and everything.
yeah.
So yeah,
So
the
maybe-
Home Alone thing works out, huh? If they took his brother.
the plot thickens. But yeah, man. Who wants to go first? Mo. Yeah. What do you make all of this, man? Starting from that big headline that he was basically left out of the tour, which is a huge.
Yeah, it
What
was
do you?
something unexpected for me personally.
Yeah.
I did not.
Go on.
Yeah, I did not
Go
think that they would leave him out because I think
Uh-huh.
a lot of money is at stake on that thing.
Mhm.
But yeah, for me personally, every noisome, all those Real Madrid people who cover the Real Madrid was like, he's going to go to Japan and everything. Even the supposed ITKs who were claiming that Mbappe is going to sign before 23rd and everything. They were saying that yeah, now he's probably going to go to the Japan tour and join Real Madrid after that. So I was surprised. I was not expecting it, but it is what it is. Because Nasser Al Khelaifi kept changing the dates for the deadline, the supposed deadline, that he's just supposed to give answer on. So I'm surprised that he had the guts to come
Yeah,
out
to do
and
this.
say, yeah, to do this, because I think I think more than anything, everybody's shocked because they have finally done what they were threatening to, because everybody was like, yeah, they're talking a big game, but probably wouldn't be able to back up. But they've done a city and backed it up.
I think it is a clear statement. Like you said, like that we didn't expect PSG to have the balls to send out basically saying that if Mbappe doesn't renew, he has no place in the team. But again, I've been hearing conflicting reports that I know this is all basically filler. That Luis Enrique is gonna play him regardless if he decides to stay and whatnot. But I think it's basically stirred up by maybe Enrique's PR team to paint him in a better light. But the Jacob leaving him out of the Japan tour, like apart from it being a statement, it's also kind of a cry, towards Real Madrid because PSG's hierarchy know that no matter what they do from here on in, he's gonna end up at the Bernabeu. So, do you think that this is basically their final, indirect, indirect conversation starter, to maybe, pull some money out of us?
I mean, not sure how much leverage they have since they already left the player out of training and whatnot. However, like for me, this was inevitable, right? Because Mbappe basically trashed his whole relationship with his diehard French fans with the interview with France Football. His PSG teammates, he threw everyone under the bus. So I feel like if he had walked back into training, like that wouldn't have set a good precedent. So if that interview hadn't come out, I feel like he would still be training and we still would not have clarity on it. So maybe it's like that interview coming out would have been like a masterstroke from Mbappe to force things. Although like The thing that is like not supporting this plan is that it was reported by Mario Cortegana, right, that and Le Parisien that Mbappe and Real Madrid had an agreement that basically said he would leave on a free on 2024, and PSG like are basically along with the interview and this bit of news as well has spurred them on to actually not play him at all because they don't want him to actually go to Real Madrid on a free. They see us as our most bitter rivals, and leaving on a free would be catastrophic for them.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised. I didn't know that Le Parisien and Cortagana had said that we had an agreement. But just to point it out, I would say that Aranca Rodriguez was like pretty much the club's mouthpiece that there is no agreement for like there is no agreement between Real Madrid and Mbappe for next season or this season. Just to like put it out there. Although like not a lot of people actually buy it because everybody knows that probably there is like some level of communication between the Mbappe clan and Florentino. So I wouldn't be surprised. And I also think that there was this one video, if you guys remember, where somebody asked Florentino that if he was going to sign Mbappe, and he said next year. I think that's something that really pissed PSG off. It rubbed them the wrong way, and for whatever reason, they decided to just go all guns blazing from there on. And then in between, Mbappe also sent that letter, which was signed from last year, that he's not going to take up that option. I think that just added fuel to the fire. And now they're like that paranoid person, who are assuming that everybody's plotting against them. So
I mean,
It's
the plot is true, right?
logic.
Like, yeah, it's not just them imagining that the plot is there, but then the plot is actually afoot.
I mean, we won't ever
100.
know till the window is over, probably.
But like we discussed, the pace at whatever is happening, like we had kind of touched upon this in one of our earlier Mbappe specials. I think this is our third one. I've lost count. We were never the ones to, do stuff based on hype. I'm going to reiterate that was never the plan of this channel. Probably that's why we are, still at 1K, because we don't do clickbait shit. But this year, there was a real possibility that Mbappe was, going to happen, and we couldn't just sit back and, act like we weren't excited. We weren't, swept away by whatever has been happening. But whatever broke a couple of weeks back, we kind of had the conversation that if something was to happen, it would wrap up pretty quickly, maybe in the matter of a couple of weeks. We had this conversation in the chat yesterday, Mo. Like just going off by the momentum that this whole saga has been, catching on since the last night. Do you think somewhere around Wednesday, Monday, it might actually happen?
This question really makes me feel like I'm Gerardo Romero or somebody jumping around on the
No.
call.
I'm just
But
I'm just asking your opinion as a fan.
I'm just gonna give that. So I was just setting the stage, painting the picture. But
Okay.
honestly, for me personally, it's very tough to say if it will be done by Wednesday. But I wouldn't be surprised if it moves fast, because I think just now I just like we were talking about this before we came on here, right? That there's some rumor that Mbappe's lawyers and stuff, they're already talking with PSG to facilitate an exit. Uh, so I think PSG wants him out. They would just want to see what Mbappe clan wants to, maybe leave Paris. Probably a part of the bonus that was due to him. I have heard rumors that even last year's bonus wasn't paid to him, so some of that money is also pending. I'm not sure about how authentic that news is, so how true that news is. So please don't take it to heart or anything. It's just rumors. So probably that, and I think we also have to understand the fact that this loyalty bonus that they're paying to Mbappe was just another way of giving him the signing bonus, which they did agree to last year. So they couldn't give him that huge money in and make it like fit under FFP. So they probably decided to distribute it. I think Mbappe clan wants that money, so probably we'll see how that happens. I think the biggest issue to getting this transfer done fast is probably going to be that loyalty bonus.
But I've heard that the clubs are going to work together to pay it. No.
That's a lot of stuff that's coming from ITK account, so I don't
Hmm.
really know the authenticity of it.
Hmm.
The reliable reporters like Aranka and everybody, all they've said is like Real Madrid is just watching. We are not privy to anything that's going on between Mbappe and PSG. So till PSG calls us and says, we have put Mbappe on sale, and this is the fee we want. I don't think Madrid is going to do anything.
Fair enough. But I think, for so you're basically implying that unless PSG makes the first move, like we are not going to budge, yeah?
I think from the club there is this reticence to get involved with PSG because if you
Hmm.
guys remember 2021, like Madrid kept on sending them like higher offers after higher offer, and they essentially stopped responding to it. After like two or three offers, I think the offers were verbal, and they said, "Oh, that was a verbal offer, so we didn't know it was serious." So from Madrid side, it's like you come to us, give us a price, and then we'll decide if we want to pay it or not. They don't really want to get involved in all those shenanigans that happened at the end of 2021. So, and there was a rumor in La Parisian. There's also some reticence on Madrid's side to put too much trust in Mbappe. So I don't really know uh, how much of truth is there in that line of thinking. But for me personally, I think unless and until this bonus thing gets sorted out and PSG are clear about what kind of a fee they want, I think it will take a little bit of time. But once these issues are sorted, I can guess that the transfer is gonna go. Like I anticipate the transfer to go pretty quickly because PSG want him out, and probably the club that want him would want him for the preseason.
Fair enough. My only thing is like the more we delay it, the more it's gonna harm us. Like from a purely fan perspective, like yeah, I don't want us to, basically bend over for PSG. Like I'm never gonna in no dimension. I want my club to be doing that. But the thing is, the earlier we get him in, the earlier that he has some credible amount of preseason in his legs, the better our season is going to look from the get go. The more we delay it, the more we dilly dally around waiting for PSG and whatnot. I know the waiting for PSG is the right way to go about it. Like rightly, like since you mentioned what happened in the past summer about how cold they were, like when we approached them and whatnot. But the thing is, again, like if we want to delay it, it'll be at our own risk. I don't think PSG is going to lose much, but we have a lot to lose.
I,
If
I
we,
I
yeah.
completely agree with you when you talked about
Mm.
the preseason. I think it's better, because when players come and do the whole preseason, I think they're better attuned with the team.
Hmm.
So I completely agree with you there. But I think the biggest issue is about mm, not losing the upper hand in the negotiation and everything. Because if we go to PSG with an offer and then they we essentially give the onus to them. It's like Madrid want that player. Okay, yeah, everybody knows Madrid want the player, but we by holding this position, we're essentially saying that you have to tell us that you want to sell them. Otherwise, we are completely fine waiting for next year. So I guess that's the strategy that the club are going with.
Mm. Jacob, do you have anything to add regarding this? The waiting game.
I don't know, man. Like, I feel like things are gonna like pick up really fast in the next couple of weeks. Before like August hits up, I feel like we're gonna make a few offers and
When is our last preseason game in the US against Juve? Is it beginning of August, first week?
I have to look it up.
Because we have one final game against Juve, and then 9 days later, La Liga kicks off.
UA game is
I think
it's
personally,
on
I
3rd
also feel
August.
that this deal could probably get done within the first week of August if everything goes well. But you
Mm,
never know how those negotiations for the signing bonus and everything will go. So
mm.
that's my only doubts.
I mean,
See, 3rd of August
yeah,
is the Juve game. In my opinion, that's already late, super late, because he has no time to get into rhythm. Because barely a week later, we have our first game away at the San Mames, and yeah, man. Ideally, I would like him in early, but I can understand with the magnitude of this transfer, like why it might take a bit more time. Yeah, go on, Jacob.
Yeah, man, I was just mentioning I'm not sure if we are looking to pay the loyalty bonus or whatnot or share in it, because Mario Cortegana he did reports that the reported fee would likely be around 100 to 200 million. I'm not sure which side of that transfer is actually true, because is it closer to 200? Is it like a 180 million, or is it going to be closer to 100 million? And then it all depends on that, right? And then to see how the clubs handle the transfer.
Remember, we had this conversation in the chat as well. Like I think 180 is the fee that the two clubs are gonna finally agree upon. But this whole talk about 100 to 200 million, this is just hyperbole. There's no way he's gonna cost anything less than 150. No way, no chance in hell. So I think it's gonna be locked in and around 160 to 200 million, and I don't think it's gonna cross 200 million ever. No chance. Even with add-ons, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yo, Mo,
But let's
do you think
yeah.
we actually have money to pull off maybe 180 mil plus the loyalty bonus and Mbappe salary? Do you think we have that much money?
Personally, I don't know. Honestly, I don't think, because people often kind of dispute the claim that we really don't have the financial power, financial muscle to pull it off. But I don't know. We can pull off this transfer, like what Mo did at the beginning of this episode, with a bit of mental gymnastics. We don't really have to pay all that money up front, maybe. To Mbappe, I'm speaking, especially regarding the bonus and stuff. I don't know the legal implications behind it, but I'm pretty sure if we are that tight for some funds to, like, let's say 20 million, 20 odd billion to, get this over the line, I think we'll find an alternative
From what
shortcut.
I've heard, we have the money.
Mm,
It's not a problem.
mhm,
And I think we have like between 100 to 150 million in reserves in cash, and we have a credit line for getting more money available already. So it shouldn't be a problem. Like, so, from what I've heard from everybody who's like much more attuned to than me about the
mhm.
financial side of Real Madrid and accounts and everything, because I'm not from financial side, so I don't really understand these things with their level of understanding.
Me neither. Mm,
Yeah, so for me, I think it's personally, from what I've read, it's like Real Madrid are perfectly placed. If they have to get him this summer, they can get him this summer. If they have to get him next summer, they can get him next summer. The thing about, I think, the issue from Real Madrid's side is more to the fact that they're not going to offer him the same contract they offered him as a free agent last year. If he comes to Real Madrid, he has to accept the terms that were agreed in 2021 when we were sending the offers to PSG. So it's probably going to be around like 25 million after tax in salary, and you probably add in bonuses and everything, they go to 30 million or something. And he's not going to get a high signing on fee like he was getting if he signs on as a free agent. I think the rumored numbers were like 160 million and all those big image rights and everything. I think that would not be on the table anymore. And even if we sign him next summer, it's not going to be on the table. So I think that's one of the conditions that Madrid have placed on him to sign him when the clan contacted Madrid and said, we made a mistake signing renewing with PSG, so we really want to get away for him to Madrid. So let's see what happens.
Well, let's just get into a few comments before we kind of move on. Um, right. Yeah. T Nova was saying, will the arrival of Mbappe kick Rodrigo out of the team in a couple of years? I wouldn't want that to happen personally. Being one of his biggest fans ever, I want Rodrigo to thrive alongside Vinicius and Mbappe. I don't see that personally happening, but some people like Farouk has mentioned it earlier that might be something that turns into an actuality if Rodrigo doesn't really step up, because it's not going to be like when Benzema was here. If Vinicius and Mbappe are at least like 5-10 levels above what Rodrigo's output is going to look like, there's going to be some fingers pointed, not by me, not by many of us over here, but some of the fans across the world,
I
and of course
I would
in the
just keep
stadium.
this. I would just keep this
Mm,
in mind, the fact that when there are three players who are all looking to score goals, somebody's output is going to go down because not all three
mm.
of them can score 30 goals
Yeah.
each every summer. So personally, for me, it's tough to say because we don't really know what's going to happen after if we do sign Mbappe. I have to stress this: if we do sign Mbappe, I don't really know what will happen in the future. Would we totally give up on Haaland? Because from what I've heard, Real Madrid were pretty surprised when they heard that he had a 200 million release clause or whatever. They thought it was too high. So it could well end up being that Rodrigo, Vinicius, and Mbappe is the forward line the club bets on into the future. Especially with Endrick also coming on, so we might never go for another player, and these four might be the crux of what is our lineup going forward. In that way, I don't think Rodrigo falls off.
Mm. Well, let's see, because a lot of things can happen in a couple of years. A lot many things can go right. Also, a lot many things can go wrong as well. 2 years in footballing years is a long time.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
we all saw what happened with Eden Hazard. So
yeah, what happened with Eden Hazard in a couple of years is man, but that was also accelerated by the injury he sustained. Yeah, like
I think
let's
it was
be
it was, it was mostly due to the injury he sustained.
yeah. But I'm not gonna lie. Even before the injury, like he wasn't exactly Chelsea's prime Hazard, was he? I don't think so.
I
But
mean, he barely played for like 5 months, so I don't really know. Was it even 5 months? 2 months maybe?
mm,
It's tough to
yeah.
say.
Mm. Right. Rajat says, "Wow. What will be a good front three?" Well, it's out there in plain daylight. Rodrigo, Mbappe, Vinicius is gonna be the front three, unless like what rumors have been suggesting. Carlo is gonna play a diamond, and Mbappe is gonna be a false nine. I mean, not Mbappe. Jude Bellingham is gonna be a false nine and whatnot. You know, um, I don't know how that's gonna look, but in my opinion, it's gonna be Rodrigo, Vinicius, Mbappe.
Yeah, for me personally as well, I see it as the 4-3-3 because if Mbappe comes, we have a striker now. So I think
Mm,
there's no way that Ancelotti plays with four midfielders.
mm,
The only thing that I would probably change is like I think although I don't like Rodrigo playing center forward, I probably consider giving him the option of playing center forward because Mbappe seems to want to play on the wings and stuff. So we'll see. But
mm.
I think the three together can be pretty fluid. So.
Very, very. I think they're going to be extremely fluid. Um, like I'm not sure about Vinicius playing on the right. I've seen him maybe a couple of times where we are countering and he's stuck on the right. He's okay there, but Mbappe and Rodrigo they can swap wings effortlessly. I'm pretty sure they like Mbappe is not that good on the right as per the stats and whatnot, but Rodrigo whenever he starts on the left looks just as good. So I think like you said, it's going to be pretty more than fluid. Hassan says, "Yeah, damn, I'm late again," but yeah, he's basically singing the Mbappe song. Big up yourself, Hassan. Sun says Perez has a team of interns making sure the fax machine is up and running. Oh yeah, the 2015 was it De Gea debacle? Um,
David,
yeah, yeah. Fond memories, fond memories. I still remember how I had to basically hide myself for a couple of weeks back in uni because I was going about shouting from the rooftops about getting the man. But yeah, it was honestly embarrassing.
I mean, in
Um,
hindsight, it worked out well.
100%. Navas, man, I've been pretty vocal. I love Navas more than Thibaut. Any day, any day. Rajat says, "Can we get another centre back? Will we get another centre back? Is that something
Not this
on
season.
on our cards? No, yeah,
Not this
I
season.
don't,
Not this
I
season.
don't think
I
so.
probably
I
give it
don't think
like
so.
I probably give it like maybe I don't think next year either, but
Mhm.
things could change. But I think 2025 is probably the time
If
where
Militao
we
and Alaba kind of keep their level from last year, and also Rudiger is added to the mix as well. If they three can kind of maintain their levels, push each other, I don't think there is really a need for a new centre back. But like we saw with Arda Güler, if something of that ilk, who has a high ceiling, is pretty young, is pretty moderately priced, I think we are gonna just pull the plug on it.
I would
Uh,
say that if the City deal doesn't go through for Guardiola this summer, he could
mhm,
be a target next summer, especially with the fact that I think David Alaba is entering the third year of his 4-year contract, so
mhm.
he'll only have 1 year left. So probably they could look to move him on if there's an opportunity to sign Guardiola or anything. But I don't really see that because I think Guardiola is probably going to go to City, as you mentioned before the podcast started. But I would still I would keep an eye on Bastoni at Inter Milan. I could see him being a target at 25.
Bastoni is 26, 27.
No, he's probably 21, 22 or something.
Is he that young? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I'm probably mixing up Skriniar's and Bastoni's ages. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Bastoni, I think, is pretty young as well. Well, if he's below 23, that'll perfectly, fit our profile,
Oh,
100%.
he's 24 actually. Sorry. he's
24, yeah. Yeah. That's what I was thinking because Bastoni was always in the conversation for a couple of years. So I was thinking he's probably mid-20s by now. But still a very good centre back. I've seen
I mean, at 26, it
Mm.
wouldn't be a bad signing. Yeah.
100%. Extensively, like I've seen what he has done at Inter Milan. He is a beast. Very good on the ball, super aggressive. I think very adept with both feet as well, which I think is gonna help us even more.
I
Yeah,
also think he was
Bastoni.
one of Inter's better players in the Champions League final.
Yeah. Um, when guys like Lukaku doesn't really do you a favor, Bastoni, guys like that. I feel for them, honestly. Rajat says he's not going to work with Vinny, so they'll have to play split wingers. Maybe could be a good idea. Rajat, you're in for a rude awakening by the end of December. I'm telling you, until the Champions League group games are kind of sorted, I would realistically imagine that we are not gonna stumble upon a perfect formula regarding how the balance of midfield and the attack is gonna look like. But trust me, these guys together are gonna be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, I mean,
Opposed to public perception.
I think we
Go on,
have
Jay.
like 3 left wingers on our attacking lineup, like our starting lineup. Like all of them like to play on the left wing. So, like even though it's gonna be fluid, I feel like all of them are gonna drift towards the left hand side, and then it's gonna be like similar to the tenure under Zidane. Like our attacks are gonna be focused from the left hand side.
Maybe. But
Maybe
back
we
then
can,
it was.
what we could do is like we could change the positioning of the opponent goal and move it to the right side.
we could probably do that if it was FIFA. But I get the general lukewarm reception to having like you said, like 3 predominantly left-leaning wingers playing up front for us. But let me tell you, from my very short playing career, I usually play cricket more, but very short playing career can't be called a career, but very short playing time with football. Like it's a game that, in my humble opinion, I'm not a tactical. It can be very fluid, man. It can be very fluid. Yeah, for the team sheet, you're gonna have to, nail down a few positions for certain people. But on the pitch, if the synergy is right, if the understanding between the players are right, and if they are selfless enough, bro, it is a recipe for absolute greatness. Honestly, I think if things goes to plan, it can be better than BBC in the long run. Fingers crossed.
I won't like touch that, but I would say that the fact that Ancelotti is the one
You'll see.
is our manager, right? He's probably drawn a lot of brilliant formations to get the best out of the players he has. When he was at Milan, when he was at Real Madrid in the first tenure, so he was essentially the one who gave us the 4-3-3. So I think if it was anybody who I trusted to get the best out of these 3 together in the same team, I think it would be Carlo Ancelotti. So I'm not really worried about it. And I think it's a bridge that we need to cross after Mbappe gets here. Right now, he's not here. So.
Well, he's gonna be here. The whole reason we are wasting our fucking time and doing this live is basically because, honestly, it's because I believe he's almost home.
I mean, I hope he is here, but I have lived through last 2 windows, so
last window.
I'm being cautious.
Last window, I know it was very increasingly evident that like Mbappe wanted the move, but in contrast to that, this season I think PSG is desperate, which makes me think they're gonna give in. TT maybe says Jude played as a false 9 in training. I knew he wasn't bought for midfield, striker or right back. Okay. So yeah, he's playing along with the Carlo fetish for playing everybody at wing back, or a false nine. Well, I saw a couple of goals, not today, but yesterday from Jude. Man, his finishing is underrated. I'll tell you, very very underrated. He
He
reminds
scored
me.
2 goals yesterday.
Yeah, I think
Okay, I didn't watch it, so I don't know.
yeah. I don't know if he scored more than two, but saw like a couple of goals that were like absolute peaches. Um, Even last year when the conversation was brought up, like how would Jude fit in? I was very vocal about why I think he is a proper throwback to your, old school 4-4-2 midfielders, of the, late noughties, early 2000s and whatnot, where his finishing it can sometimes surprise you with how calm and precise it can be. So yeah, man, Jude, even if he starts um, in a pivot, I'm pretty sure he can contribute to some goals because I see that he has a real eye for getting goals, and he's not shy. He's no way shy in front of goal. There's no looking for, oh, maybe is there someone I can slip in? No chance. If he sees there's an opportunity to bang one in, he's going for it. I like that kind of initiative, especially since he's so young. Jude Bellingham is a real specimen. Rajat says, let Mbappe help Real by handing transfer request in. Mm. Well,
What
well,
good is
well.
that gonna do?
Yeah, that's not going to do much.
I mean, PSG have like they have essentially put him on sale. So
Yeah. Rajat says, do we need to sell players like Nacho to fund our Mbappe deal? No way I'm
uh,
doing that ever, ever. Yeah. Even if there was a possibility to sell Nacho for 50 million, I'm not doing that. Um, Rajat also says not fully impossible to make three of them work. Oh, he's talking about the front three. You're contradicting yourself a bit, Rajat. Hassan says, I think we should play a 4-4-2, 4-2-4 in attack. Chouamini come a winger pivot. Vinny left, Mbappe striker, Rodrigo centre forward, Valverde a Guller right winger. I think it's gonna more or less look like somewhat of a 4-4-2 or a 4-2-4 diamond. You never know. But I think us having this plethora of options in a variety of positions is going to make Carlo kind of find a fine balance between a 4-4-3 and a 4-4-2 somewhere along the line. I think that's going to really bring him a lot of success because he's well versed in using both of them, in his stints with Milan earlier as well. Right. Jacob, what else do we have to touch upon regarding the Mbappe situation? Should we touch upon the letter that
Sure.
was revealed, I think, yesterday from PSG?
Yeah, man. The letter just basically shows that PSG have a lot of insight into what Mbappe is thinking, what Real Madrid is thinking. So it's basically a plea to basically uh, please sign for us in the long term, or please leave on a transfer fee. Don't leave on a free, because and they're basically asking him, hey, like took care of you for your whole career, even when you were a teenager. They were basically guilt tripping him, and
Mm.
that's like a whole essay on
I've
guilt
been
tripping.
there as a teenager.
Yeah,
man, I find it funny that them talking about, oh, we took care of you as a teenager. Like they picked him off the streets when he had nobody believing in
Like
him.
it, like the way they frame it, it's almost like, oh, like they are not self-aware that they basically engineered this monster, right? Like it's almost like they didn't know what was happening. It's almost like, oh, now you're taking advantage of us. Why, bro? Like, bro,
Yeah,
basically you did that.
I think from what I've read, it's like they paid a lot of money essentially.
Mm,
Real
mm,
Madrid, even at that time, Real Madrid matched the offer PSG made to Monaco, but we
mm,
got lost on two fronts. The fact that we couldn't guarantee him the same amount of play time that PSG could, and the second was like, and the more important one was like we couldn't pay the same amount of money that PSG wanted. Now PSG has had to pay him a lot more to keep him, and I think the chickens have come to roost because nobody can top that, and he wants to stay for one more season and then leave on a free. Get every bit of money that he can from PSG, and now PSG are left like at least get us a transfer fee.
mm.
Sort of like begging him to leave.
Yeah, it's funny, man. It's funny. I just really can't understand whether the PSG uh, press team, or basically, their major, crunch decision making personnel are immature people who are, barely hitting their 20s. I think
I
it's
I
it's
I,
it,
I find it funny that you believe they have like people behind the scenes strategizing every move. Because for me, it's like they go on FIFA, see who has the highest potential, and then try to sign them.
it's Football Manager, bro. I'm pretty sure they have a little more sophistication than FIFA.
I mean, Football
Come
Manager
on.
probably would give them a lot more sophistication and probably don't have the intelligence to play that. But honestly, for me personally, what do you guys think about the whole thing? Mbappe deciding to move to PSG in his career, like that has been to this point. Do you think his career would have been better if he had moved to Madrid directly?
Not necessarily, man. Like at that time, BBC was like, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have come across as much playing time, but he should have probably come last summer or a bit before that, when things weren't like looking really peachy at PSG. Once he had established himself, he should have made the move to Real Madrid.
The thing is, I see a completely different future, a completely set of different events, unfolding if Mbappe actually made it in like 2017. Because let's be honest, if Mbappe comes then, Cristiano is going to move into striker, Mbappe is going to be left winger. Then who gets the drop
Come
is
on,
the big
you're saying
$1 million question.
what? You're saying
Mm.
Benzema is like gonna be dropped with Zidane? No, man.
The thing is,
No, I
Benzema
don't
might not be
really.
dropped,
I don't
but
think Benzema is getting dropped.
I don't think he's getting dropped, but I don't think Benzema is going to be winning the Ballon d'Or.
I think personally,
No.
yeah, probably that wouldn't have happened. But um, I think Isco might have been dropped because Bale essentially, became persona non grata with Zidane. But still,
Yeah.
even if if he had come, probably gets a reduced role in 17, 18. I think from 18, 19 onwards, he probably would have had a big, huge role. But even then, if we accept the fact that he went to PSG and everything, I think, like Jacob said, he shouldn't have stayed at PSG. Like from 21 onwards, probably should have done a bit more to get the move because I think his career has suffered because of that. He's not like he has the talent to potentially be winning Ballon d'Or every year, and right now he's like struggling to be among the top three, and he has to go around doing interviews begging people to vote for him because nobody takes the Liga seriously despite his international achievements. I think it's a sad statement on his career, given the fact that everybody is so hyped up about Haaland, but nobody seems to have the same opinion about Mbappe. When the fact is, like, personally, I think Mbappe is quite clearly the best player in the world right now.
Thing is, the game is all about goals, and Haaland is
I mean, Mbappe is always
cold-blooded.
scoring goals. Come on, we can't say that.
I know, but the way Haaland
That's
is
the thing,
doing,
right? He's scoring in Liga, so nobody's taking him seriously.
but I'll tell you, Haaland has a much more instinctive way of finishing. He just smells goals. I don't think Mbappe is quite like that. Maybe at Madrid, where he's um, consistently more central, he'll develop that because he has the couple yards, 3 yards, 4 yards head start over any fucking defender, on this planet. So he has the time to, set it right. But I think Mbappe.
Even in crowded boxes, I think a lot of people highlight the fact that Mbappe has pace and he's able to
Mm.
beat the defenders. But even in crowded spaces, Mbappe plays really well. If you guys
Oh,
remember
the
that
goal
goal,
against Argentina, yeah.
if you guys remember, like Argentina, even the goal against Barcelona in like
Mm.
2021, I think it was 21 or before that, I don't really remember. I
Group
think
stages, yeah.
like
Mm.
the one they beat Barcelona like 4-0 or something. Even
I
in that
remember.
one, he had a good goal against Barcelona in the box and
I saw it
getting
live. Mm.
getting through crowded players. And then you also have to remember the goal that he scored against us at in Paris.
Yeah, yeah.
He beat like
Three,
two
four
players
guys
inside the
tightly
box.
marking him. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think Mbappe is pretty good. And I think when it comes to Haaland and Mbappe, I think the question is always going to end up who are you going to take in your team? Like if you could only pick one. And I think personally, I
Mm.
would take Mbappe.
Mm.
Same.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I would have said Mbappe a couple of years ago, but now I think Haaland just guarantees you goals, man.
I
Um,
think the only caveat would be if I have the money, I can take Mbappe. Otherwise, no.
yeah, that's also another thing. Like what if Haaland comes to Madrid and in a couple of years? those guys together would be.
I think it's difficult, man. Personally, I think it's difficult.
Let's see. Um, right. Do we have a few comments here? Um, yeah, Hassan was saying one player we should keep an eye on if Guardiola goes to City is Gonzalo Inacio. 21, left-footed, solid defensively, and very good ball-playing ability. I've heard about this guy. I'm not pretty sure if he's quite ready yet. That's just me.
I think he's talking about like in a couple of years down. I would say just say the issue
Maybe.
with Portuguese players is probably who their agent is. It's almost down to that because I think Jorge Mendes, club might.
Oh, is he Jorge Mendes' client? Okay.
A lot of Portuguese players are. I'm not exactly sure who his agent is, so I don't know for sure. But I think not only Gonzalo Inacio, there's also this guy called Antonio Silva, and I forgot the club. It's probably Benfica. Although if he's at Lisbon, Benfica fans are going to square me for this. But yeah, he's a Portuguese player and he's pretty brilliant as well. So he could be another one to keep an eye on if you're talking about Portuguese talents.
So many great centre backs, young centre backs, coming out. Like what you said. After next year, like I'm not very up to date with all the contract situations because personally, for me, that's something that the club should be keeping an eye on. But for me, like what you said, if Alaba is coming to just 1 year within the end of his contract, probably names like this would be frequently mentioned next summer. Rajat says exactly. Inacio will be a great left-footed centre back who is going to replace Alaba soon and still very young, 21, 22. Yeah, I would like my centre backs to be really young. Like to add some athleticism and youthfulness to our backline. But I would also like some elder statesmen as well in the mix. We don't have.
Militao might be the elder statesman.
Man, that's gonna be peak. If Militao is gonna be the guy who's gonna be, mentoring these men, I don't know how how exactly.
Militao mentoring people.
Yeah, it's not exactly a pretty sight, is it? Maybe we should sign someone, Rudiger. I don't know if he steps up into that role. I'm not sure yet. It's only been 1 year. Maybe he.
I think Rudiger also has a 4-year contract, so probably 3 years left now. We'll see how it goes.
But do you guys see him actually mentor like young defenders? I mean, pretty sure he has some faults in his game also. He depends a lot on his.
Jacob, be real with me, yeah. In today's game, like your Ramoses, your John Terrys, your Tony Adams, all of that. Who is that defender of that ilk? Probably Thiago Silva, but we all know in a couple of years' time he is retired. Yeah. Apart from Thiago Silva, off the top of my head, I can't think of a reference point as a centre back.
I mean, you cannot underrate De Ligt. He's done pretty
He's
well.
mid-20s, bro. He has a lot of learning to do himself. A lot of learning. Right. People hype him up so much.
Right now,
people hype him up like he is.
Do you remember his game against PSG? Do you remember?
Bro, I know.
Ball line clearance.
I understand.
Matthias De Ligt, ever since he's gone to Bayern, has been pretty brilliant. Yeah, I think
he has been brilliant. But is he even at his very best? Is he even good as prime Ricardo Carvalho? I don't think so, bro. I don't think so.
Seen his best yet, right?
He's 25, bro. He's 25.
So, right now, he's entering his peak.
Let's hope
he's been around since he was 18.
I know. He has a lot of experience in his locker.
You cannot underrate how good De Ligt is. For me personally, I think Bayern.
But is he a reference point for someone 21, 22? I don't think so. That's just me.
In what sense would you mean a reference point?
When Ramos was growing up, Maldini was a reference point, probably. Someone like Hierro would have been a reference point when he was very, very, very young. But for guys like now, who is that poster boy for centre backs? I can't think of any real candidates. I don't know if my memory is failing me again.
Might have looked at what Van Dijk did at Liverpool and looked up to him. If that is
Van
your,
Dijk did it for barely 2 years, bro.
but he was
Barely
good,
two
right?
years.
He was good, right? For the period for the period he was at his
That
peak, he
was
was brilliant. I
that
think
was back in 2019. It's
okay,
2023.
okay. So right now, I think Delict is going to grow into
Half
that
a
role.
decade. Okay. Delete is a shout. I won't dispute that, right?
Is there
But tell
anyone
me
from the
one other.
EPL? Maybe someone from Man City? I don't know.
Ruben Diaz, he's good, but is he a reference point? I don't know. John Stones, one good season. Is he a reference point? I don't know. Ronaldo Araujo, maybe in a 5, 6 good years. Eder Militao, another 5 good years would get them to that point. But at this stage, bro, the modern game, center backs of that stature that we used to have when we were growing up is no longer a thing.
Yeah,
I
man.
don't
Like,
understand why
did
that's the reason.
Chiellini retired as well, right? Last season.
Yeah, I think so. I'm
I
not
think
so
Kylian is
sure.
at LAFC. I'm
Oh,
not
he's
sure
at
he's
LAFC.
retired. I'm not sure he's
Yeah.
retired, but he's at LAFC.
MLS is basically retirement, but yeah, you could. Bonucci, Chiellini, they're all done, man.
Yeah.
I
Done.
mean,
They're all.
Bonucci, I always had doubts about him defensively. He's pretty good
Yeah,
playing.
Bonucci is not that great.
Yeah,
Bazzagli was the real gunman. People
yeah,
underrated
Barzagli
him.
and Chiellini.
Yeah. Um, who else? Who else can we think about? Bro, that's the thing, man.
I mean,
Marquinhos, really?
what are we
No.
exactly talking about here? Are we just naming defenders, or is
Yeah,
there a
like
point to this?
no, it's
No,
like
we were going off that conversation about how we need to have some veterans in the mix,
Yeah,
you
okay.
know.
Yeah,
So,
maybe
yeah.
2 3 years down the line, Delict could be that veteran. We don't know.
damn.
You're taking the piss out of my pure sentiment here. I don't understand why you guys are so heartless, because I'm having a yearning for that throwback
Yeah,
center back who
you have
can
become
be.
for the past 5 years, you've become a nostalgia merchant. So you're just
I'm
filling me
always
with
a
that.
nostalgia merchant. I'm fucking Nost FC, bro. If people didn't already know that, they should be knowing that by now. But yeah, like for me, strikers, center backs, they have all dried up. I don't know why. We still have good wingers, alhamdulillah, at least in that sense. Midfielders as well. We have some very promising prospects. Even wing backs who can really do the two-way role, not exactly a thing anymore. Um, right. Ashik is here. Boys, what's up? Ashik always late, man. I'm not so fond of that. Ashik says Haaland is a pure scorer, very much like Robin Van Persie. Was
Van
it
Nistelrooy.
RVN?
Van
Oh,
Nistelrooy.
Nistelrooy. My bad. Only physically more imposing. Mbappe is more deep lying forward. Yeah, Rudo Nistelrooy was a true menace. Like his eye for a goal was scary, man. And people underestimate his dribbling skills as well. Very neat for someone who is 6'4".
I mean, maybe we saw a different Van Nistelrooy. So
I mean, see, I've only seen his highlights. Yeah, like you have watched him extensively. I would give you that. But from what I've seen, his ability to navigate the D, inside the box, he could beat a couple of players with ease, man. Shoulder
I
drops,
mean,
body feints.
I think Van Nistelrooy is a pretty good penalty box player, but outside of the box, I wouldn't fancy him.
I didn't say outside of the box. I'm talking about beating players inside the box once. Like he's doubled up. He has always found a way. From what I've seen in highlight reels, probably might not be his overall picture, but yeah, limited knowledge, bro. Please bear with me. Farooq says, do you guys think this Mbappe saga affects the concept of player power? We are currently in uncharted territory. Would we start to see stars in their prime on short contracts? Guns for hire mercenaries.
Is this our Farouk or is it different Farouk?
This is Farooq basically writing a crime novella. Thoughts on that, man?
Farouk?
It is Farooq. It is Farooq Abdul Hamid. Yeah. Turkish sensation. Milani's fashion icon.
Sergio B.
Sergio B. Yeah. Sergio B. I don't know about this, yeah, personally. This might be a thing in the future, but I don't think the big clubs in Europe are necessarily gonna allow them to have power. Like we have discussed in earlier podcasts, Real Madrid and their players, especially in the modern Perez reign, has had a 50-50%, 50-50 kind of understanding between having and giving player power and kind of coexisting in the same dimension and whatnot. But for these guys to be having short-term contracts, like what, for like 3 years, 2 years, is never going to happen for
I
big
mean,
players.
you could see
No.
how many clubs are lining up for Mbappe, right? Offering him short-term deals and telling him that
But that's a
do give us.
stopgap option.
No,
Like,
let me finish the point. They're lining up for him and offering him options to go, like come and spend 2 or 3 years for us, and then you can go to whatever destination club you want to go to. So I think that sort of thing might be seen, and for players who are at the level of Kylian Mbappe. But for the others, I am doubtful that that will be something that happens on a regular basis at
mm,
in European football.
mm. Yeah, Saudi is an anomaly. I wouldn't really take it with any seriousness, to be
I
honest.
mean, give it 10 years, and Saudi football will be ruling the world.
It won't be ruling the world, but it'll be, miles ahead of MLS. I'll tell you. The fans are more passionate.
Trust me,
You know.
it will take a lot. Like if Saudi keeps spending the amount of money that they are spending, I wouldn't
Hmm.
be surprised because at some point of time, Premier League used to be a laughing stock of European football. Players
Yeah.
were like, why telling agents, why do you want to take us there? It's a
Mm.
joke, it's a prison. And right now, Premier League is probably the best league in the world. So money can do wonders.
I know. But
Everybody would wear that that hat,
the
and
Asian subcontinent would require more than Saudi Arabia to really, because Saudi can't do it. Saudi is not a continent. So it's not the Saudi Arabian
and
Champions League. It's the
I mean,
Asian Champions League.
I would just say that as long as they're offering a lot of money, people will
Mm.
go to play there because right now players are sacrificing European competitions to go and win the Premier League. Right? We started the show talking about Musa Diaby going to a mid-table Premier League team when
Yeah.
team doesn't really give him
But do you
opportunity.
really think he's going there to win the Premier League?
That's what I'm talking about. The same thing can be replicated at Saudi. A lot of people they wouldn't be going there to win the Saudi Pro League or whatever it is called, but they will be going there because it offers good money and there will be a lot of competition there because
Mm.
teams are spending a lot.
Let's see. Let's see. Many fans are against it, but I'll tell you for a fact, it has a better footballing culture than the MLS. By God, so much better, so much more passionate
I mean,
people. It's not all about
MLS
money.
is like the fifth or sixth league in US, so it really has tough competition. Whereas in Saudi, it's like the premier competition, right? Football. So it's really
But I'm
not a fair
just going
comparison.
by the general public who call the
The
game
com-
soccer and who doesn't know who
the
Lionel
comparison
Messi
that's
is.
always made for Saudi is China. It's not never MLS, which everybody understands. That's not the comparison. It's China because
Oh,
China was the one who brought in a lot of money, and then essentially the government decided to shut it down. But I think
mm.
with Saudi the difference is like they have a different vision. For
I'm
them,
just
Saudi
talking about the people, bro. They love the game. They know who is who, bare minimum, and they have a pure, passionate
yeah,
fan base
that's
for
what I'm saying.
all
Even
major
even for
clubs.
the average football player, the comparison is not with MLS. The comparison is what happened in China and will it be able to sustain? If Saudi is able to
Mm.
sustain, I seriously see them challenging the football's top leagues. Maybe not in 5 years, maybe not in 10 years, but 15, 20 years down the line, if the level of investment is sustained, we could see like different funny things happen.
Fuck, man, this is what Farooq does to people. Like I shouldn't have read out his comment. 15 minutes. Rajat V says Haaland is probably eventually going to come to Madrid, and Mbappe is more like Cristiano. I really hope Haaland, makes it to Madrid. I know it's going to be difficult, especially with Mbappe, if he's going to be here. Hassan says, nope, I've just checked. He's not Jorge Mendes' client, according to Transfer Market. Yeah, I think that's a plus, big plus. Just Mohit Power is back. Big up yourself. Just Mohit, he says, hey guys, how are you doing? Long time no see. You haven't been keeping up, Just Mohit. Unlike last season, we have been pretty much very consistent on the grind with how this preseason has been going. Um, Farooq says Ruben Diaz regarding veterans, leaders. I hear it, but I need to see at least a couple more, top tier center backs as well. Also, this is a caveat, yeah. Unlike Barcelona, yes, Guardiola had a system and whatnot. With City, I think players who leave his system isn't gonna be that great. I don't know if it's just fan fiction at this point regarding how City's system basically negates most of their individualistic flaws and whatnot. But I personally believe that's going to be the case. Robert Diaz in a different team, I don't think he looks that good.
Oh, I mean, even in the Euros, I think Ruben Dias is one of the best CBs for Portugal.
He was pretty good. Was he with Sporting before he came to City? Like he has been good. I'm not gonna lie. But bro, is he John Terry? Is he Rio Ferdinand? Is he? I'm talking about the absolute greats of the modern era. Yeah, like he's nowhere near that kind of level.
I'll just say this, Sunil, that there's no denying that Ferdinand and John Terry were absolute best at their position. But right now, the way that you're positioning them, you're making it tough. You're making it seem as if the current generation of center backs cannot reach that level anytime. I don't think that.
It's just me going off by what I see, bro. Yes. Like I don't have anything.
I'm not saying it is what you.
I'm not gonna back a Chelsea legend or a United legend over here for clout. No way.
I understand where you're coming from, but the fact of the matter is that the position that you're putting them on and making it sound as if the current generation of players cannot reach there is like it is side of like you are slightly biased by nostalgia, because I think it is while Terry and Ferdinand are absolute greats of the game, but it doesn't mean that any of the current players cannot reach there. Give it time. We can talk about it when their careers are over, but I think some of the players who play currently will reach that level.
Well, I really hope so for the good of the game, but I personally don't see it. Unless someone like Rafa Varane, yes, he did that. He did that to a certain point. If someone of that ilk comes along,
I mean, you have to understand the fact that the game is always improving. The levels are always increasing. It is
100%.
The style of football that was played in 90s and 2000s. If you watch it today, it's sort of jarring because right now we feel the current style is much more fluid. So it's more skill based and everything. So the level of quality is always improving. That's the nature. Like it's not just limited to football or everything else as well.
Personally, I just miss old school defending where people are a lot more braver to put their bodies on the line, regardless of Like I respect the ball playing ability. I respect them having the composure and whatnot. But guys like Rio Ferdinand, could do both sides. So I'm just putting it out there. Hopefully we'll have a few good candidates coming up. Rafa Varane was someone I missed when I was in the thick of the nostalgia wave. Rafa Varane was he really made a case for being a very good mix of modern and old school center backs. Right. Ashik was saying one thing everyone is forgetting is that whoever we sign or keep must be able to fit in when we have a new manager. It's not as black and white as we see it. It's a bit more gray. Telling you, we are not a Premier League club. We are not those kind of those kind of corporation. I don't know setups, whatever you want to call it. For us, if a manager comes in, he has to work with what he has at his disposal. Period. There's no certain way of fitting in a system, blah, blah, blah. If Zidane comes in, he will make it work. As simple as that,
I think that's the key point about Real Madrid that everybody needs to understand. No manager is going to come here and sign players, because that was something that I read during the midweek about Carlo Ancelotti calling up and inquiring about the availability of Vlahovic and everything. That sincerely, it seriously made me laugh, because no manager is going to handle the transfer duties of Real Madrid. Real Madrid have a vision. They have a vision that comes from the board. Players are going to be signed according to the vision, not according to the vision of which manager is there. So whoever is the manager who's coming in, he has to fit in with what Real Madrid wants and what the players that Real Madrid has. He's never going to be the other way around of Real Madrid, bending it backwards to facilitate managers. So I think
100%
has to adapt to the players.
100%. The idealists of the modern world, the tacticos, they always want, the signings should be catered to a manager, blah blah blah. That's how it should be thought out, like the manager shouldn't.
A manager can be changed. It's much difficult to change players. So
That's what I'm telling you. Like if I was a fan of a top club, I would want a clear, unfiltered, unflinching direction from the top. That no matter who the manager is, there is a consistent, vision, like you said, for how we are gonna go about signings, regarding their profile, their age, style of play, all of that. So for me, that's something much more suitable to believe in. Sustainable, I think it's much more sustainable than buying a couple of players for a manager. Oh, then boom, he gets sacked by December, and then oh, you know what? Is he gonna do? Those guys used to play a three at the back. This guy is useless at, with the four at the back. So it's difficult. It's difficult. Mm, right, a few more comments before we kind of move on. I think it's a full-blooded, back and forth between Just Mohit and Ashik. We'll leave it at that. Um, Hassan was saying, "I'm locked into Palmeiras ball, and this criminal of a manager isn't playing Endrick." Right. I haven't heard much about what's going on with Endrick regarding the managerial situation. Do you have anything to enlighten me more, Jacob?
No, man. I haven't seen anything on
from
Twitter as well from him. Oh,
from my understanding, I don't really watch Palmeiras, so forgive me if I'm wrong. But from my understanding, Palmeiras already have a pretty damn good team. So
Okay.
I think it's
Okay.
very difficult for Endrick to break into it, but I think Endrick is still getting his chances. He's still young, so there's going to be some issues growing up because I think even when Vinicius came to Real Madrid, people were really worried about his finishing, and look at him now. So I think he'll be fine. We don't really have to worry too much about it. I'll just say this that
Mhm.
whenever you talk to managers who play with young players who join Real Madrid, they always say that players who come to Real Madrid, they might not necessarily be the finished article. They always have some deficiencies that get made up with the training at Real Madrid because Real Madrid has one of the best academies. They have a pretty brilliant group of coaches as well behind the scenes. So I'm pretty sure that even if Endrick comes in and he has some deficiencies, the club will do its utmost to fulfill it. Because I think, if I remember correctly, it was Ronaldo Nazario. He gave an interview recently, and he said that when Vinicius came to Madrid, he talked about some aspects of his game with his weak foot that weren't pretty good. Like he said, he couldn't dribble with his left foot or something. And when he came to Real Madrid, they really worked hard on it. So I think even if Endrick doesn't really reach his best levels at Palmeiras, I don't really think it's something we need to be worried about.
100%. 100%. Um, a very good point. Like not every player we get, especially when they're approaching their 20s, or even if they're in their early 20s, isn't necessarily going to be the finished article. What we buy them is to hopefully build them up to be the finished article. That's what the paying upfront for the potential is for. Right. What else do we have to touch upon? Jacob, Mbappe. Anything spicy that recently broke or something? Have you been keeping an eye on Bandit Extra?
yeah, man. So basically, like since the initial breakout of the news and everyone covering it, confirming it, there's been a lot of crazy news around like who is actually going to get Mbappe. Like, if not Real Madrid, then who? Then the reports are that Al Hilal are offering Kylian Mbappe a
400 million? Al
contract
Hilal is fucking mad.
with like a plus 200 million fee to PSG. And ideally, like obviously, PSG would want this to go through with Qatar and Qatar, obviously with the Qatar management preferring him playing closer to home. And of course, the money is also going to help. But do you guys really think Mbappe like will go for Saudi League even for one season? I'm not sure.
No,
I don't think so. I don't
no.
think so.
I
It's
think Lloyd Tanzi of L'Equipe, he said that PSG do not expect Mbappe to go to any club other than Real Madrid. So I would be incredibly surprised for him, to go at his peak of his powers to Saudi Arabia.
Yep.
And if he goes to Saudi Arabia, the Asian Champions League is going to overtake European Champions League.
that'll be an absolute sight. AFC Champions League. Finally pulling more
Final between
sponsors.
Al Hilal versus Al Ittihad. Benzema and Mbappe.
That'll be a true sight. Not gonna lie. Nothing broke recently, yeah, Jacob.
No, man.
Apart from that.
No, I think we covered everything. Like regarding the letter that got leaked, that got sent to Mbappe. The other thing that we missed, like discussing about, is that PSG, along with saying like we provided everything for you, we gave you money. They also actually apologized to Mbappe, saying like it was out of our control that we could not sign the players that you wanted last season. It was basically because of France's regulations.
Fuck! I didn't read that. Did you say that? Oh my god!
I mean, that wasn't an apology. It was more like trying to explain it away,
Yeah,
but
maybe a justification, but yeah,
a justification.
Fucking hell! They said that, yeah.
yeah.
The,
Oof.
the only thing we haven't covered is the fact that PSG have threatened to leave him, on the bench for the rest of the season.
Oh
Basically,
yeah.
that's it.
That's not gonna happen. That's never happened.
No,
I
Never
mean,
happened.
they did it with Rabiot. I wouldn't be surprised if they did it because, to send a message.
Uh, Adrian Rabiot and Kylian Mbappe in the same conversation, yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough.
I
I
wouldn't be surprised there's a precedent.
We
That's
have
all I'm
reached a
saying.
new low, people. Right. Ashik was saying, if the striker doesn't fit into certain things the new manager wants, then he can freeze him out. Zidane has done that with Bale due to his work ethic. Bale was an anomaly.
Any other guy apart from Zidane doing what Zidane did to Bale, he would be fired the next day.
Yeah, 100%. Zidane was in a position of ultimate power to really
I
pull
mean,
that kind of shit.
you only have to look at what Benitez did, right? Rafa Benitez,
Yeah,
he was the one who was freezing out James and Ispan. The board got angry and sacked him, and then Zidane came in and he did the same thing.
and Benitez was actually a academy player, manager of the C team, B team, and whatnot, right? So
Yeah,
you
he
know,
had
and in
injuries. So I think he was actually the assistant to Vicente Del Bosque in the lower levels growing up, and then I think he even managed Castilla. So it was sort of like homecoming for him coming back to Real Madrid. And that
yeah,
was pretty.
so in totality, a much more closely affiliated family member than Zidane, right? But yeah, when it comes to Zidane, it's different, man. It's funny. Hassan says, sat sixth in the table, drew 3 and lost 2 of their last 5 league games. Palmeiras hype. He's basically contesting your claim that they're pretty good.
I mean, they had
Uh,
a pretty good team. That was what I knew. But if I'm wrong,
mm,
I'm wrong.
mm.
I don't. I'm ready to admit that I'm wrong sometimes. So.
We don't watch it much, man. Right. Ashik was saying, gone are the days when we went for multiple finished articles. We have to go for potentials because it's a cheaper but risky route, I think. And so far, it has paid off more than being a bust. Facts. Just
Wait,
one says, did you guys hear?
wait. Speaking of bus,
Yeah,
like,
go
do
on.
you guys know what's going on with Renier? Like, is there any other club looking
Oh
for it?
yeah. Ranier's situation is kind of looking messy. It has always looked messy. I don't know where he's gonna go from here.
Is he in the
Yeah, for me, I think
preseason?
there was an agreement to send him to Girona, but after Romeo he left Girona. I think they're targeting somebody who is non-EU, so they don't really have a spot for him anymore. He's not gone to preseason. He stayed back in Madrid. They're looking for a move.
All right.
Odriozola, what about him, man? Like, he's injured, yeah?
He's injured right now. I think he has a muscular overload or something. That's what I just saw on Twitter. I think Aranca Rodriguez, he said it.
Yeah. Renier, Odriozola is written off, yeah. But Renier, like, do you think he has a revival at any point to maybe someday come back to us?
I don't know. It's very difficult to talk about him because he
Honestly,
had a
yeah.
couple of good games when he was at Castilla, but he got injured over there, and then he decided to go to Dortmund. And ever since he went to Dortmund, his career has been pretty bad. So I don't really know.
Yeah, ever since that injury, I mean, he has been playing at the level of Mayoral more than like the level of a good number 9.
Mayoral is at a higher level than Renier right now.
Renier Jesus, yeah. But yeah, I get Jacob's comparison. I get it. Just Mohammed says, did you guys hear about Mbappe being offered 1 billion yearly income from PSG?
1 billion over 10 years. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, something like that. Mm.
But I don't think PSG expects him to sign a renewal. So
Yeah, I think all this is fucking paper talk, man. Paper talk, paper talk, paper talk, and we're gonna hear more, outlandish shit over the next couple of weeks. I'm just praying it gets done by this week. We have a here we go from Fabrizio by Wednesday. That's my prediction. That's my premonition. I hope it works out. Right. TT Baby says I love kebabs a lot. I don't know what he means by that, but if it's something sexual, keep it to yourself, bro. Hassan says, oh no, I think he's in conversation with Ashik. Jasmoid was saying, yes, a lifetime contract. Wow, I cannot type today. Jasmoid, stay off the weed, man. Hassan says something to speak on that lunatic Rudiger beating up Guller. Now he may miss the Milan game. Really, during the warm up? I mean, the training? I didn't see that. Was it today?
It's a joke.
Right.
No, but Arda is injured, yeah.
Yeah, Arda is injured.
Arda's injured? Fuck! Shit. So he's not going to make it for tomorrow?
No, I don't think he's going to play against Milan.
Oh my god. I was really hoping to see him. But yeah, people...
Did you watch him yesterday? I don't really know.
I could watch him, but I didn't really see. The thing is, I was at work, like it was like half attention. I did see a couple of neat little dribbles and whatnot, but like apart from the two bangers, Jude scored, I couldn't pay much attention. But yeah, people were having fun. Like I could really see those guys were truly having fun.
No, but the thing is, Arda plays as number 10 instead of a right winger in that team when he played. That's kind of surprising.
Yeah, I heard about that. I actually want to see him play that position. I think Guler, he should probably try and see if he can, play him as a false nine or something. That would be like a game changer if he can play that position.
As a false nine, Arda Guler, I don't know. How tall is he? He's 5'6", 7. Man.
I mean, false nines aren't supposed to go into the box and score goals.
I know, but still.
If false nine like Messi, you totally live up to that Ankara Messi thing. Yeah?
let's be honest, okay? He's not Messi. Yeah, he's not Messi. But I didn't know that. Like I've been hearing that he has been playing right wing some games and cam some games. I couldn't really tell that he was playing cam yesterday, but I'm really happy that Carlo is actually. But it's Carlo, man. I love the man. I'll die for him. Yeah. Especially in front of Farouk, I'll take a bullet for him. Yeah, but we have always seen Carlo do all this. Oh, I'm gonna try this, try that, boom, boom, boom. Once January rolls in, you know what's gonna happen. That's my only gripe. All these multiple solutions,
I think the solutions are only going to be in place if you don't have a striker. If you have a striker, we're going to play 4-3-3.
Yeah, simple as. There you go.
I think that's the way to go. That's the formation that suits this team well. So
100%. I'm not going to deny it, but during some games we'll need a plan B. That's just me.
Plan B is Jose Luso.
Yeah.
And plan C can become a winger. So
I mean, just not. I don't think it's just down to personnel. Probably a slight shake-up in the formation might really do the trick, because we can't get predictable like Liverpool. I'm just putting it out there, like I don't want to see opposition teams come into a game knowing exactly how we are going to play. Having a couple of tricks up your sleeve is always always
a good. Liverpool is not fair because Liverpool are sort of mechanical in their approach. It's mechanical and physical, whereas Real Madrid they have more of an inventiveness about them, because of the quality of players that we have. I think there's a difference in quality between the players. So
you're basically breaking it down too much. Okay, just leave it on the surface. That's enough. Okay, that's enough. Right. Ashik was saying if I was Mbappe, I'd take. Oh, Son was asking penalty takers. If Mbappe comes.
I just saw something from Dario asked. It was saying that Vinicius wants to take penalties next season.
My God. May God help us. I'm just.
Maybe we'll have a rerun of that PSG thing where Neymar and Cavani were fighting over the ball.
I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think those kind of shit's gonna happen. But yeah, like more than Vinicius, I would like Rodrigo to be taking penalties. Apart from that howler against Croatia, I'm much more confident with Rodrigo stepping up. But yeah, if Mbappe is there, he's gonna be hogging the ball, man. No doubt. Ashik was saying, if I was Mbappe, I'd take the 1 billion any day. Yeah, titles are great, but fans will forget about your trophies and titles when new sensation comes to the pitch. I don't think so, Ashik. I don't think so.
I
I
think the
don't
funny
think so,
thing is,
bro.
I think I was reading somewhere the 1 billion over 10 years actually like downgrade salary wise for him from his current wages. So
Uh-huh.
I don't know. And playing for Real Madrid, he's probably gonna make that money back. If not from
Mm,
directly from Real Madrid, then in endorsements and sponsorships and whatnot.
100%. Just Mohit says, you can't even respect a legend like Messi, where he's enjoying his one goal celebrated in MLS meant more to him than playing for the finished club.
I mean, yeah, I never saw Messi celebrate like uh, that much for a goal he scored for PSG. You should have seen that celebration yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah. I
It,
saw it. Like,
it was like he was incredibly passionate. So
100%. And the goal was a peach. Oh my God, classic. Messi finish. Always great to see him play.
that's
Unlike
not
when I
against
was younger. Yeah, unlike when I was younger, where he was the pantomime villain. Right. TT maybe says Rudiger always seems to beat people. Yeah. At this point, he is the number one prankster. Right. Ashik always with his way of words. Rudiger likes to give everyone a rude awakening. Right. I just hope you didn't mean that in any other sense. Yeah. Just Mohit says, even as someone here who doesn't like Madrid, I would want Mbappe to join Madrid just for the sake of football. Oh, just Mohit, are you a Barca fan? I forget.
is he a
Hassan
City fan?
was. I don't think he's a City fan. No,
Oh,
I don't think so. Maybe a Liverpool fan because I remember him joining uh, during the time when we did the preview with Grizz. Might be wrong. Hassan says, "Holy shit! I forgot the game was tomorrow." Yeah, it's tomorrow, man. 10 p.m. EST. It's a fucking I don't know what the time is. I need to buy Red Bulls. The game is gonna be at 3 a.m. for me. Yeah, the time is fucked up for the first game, but I think it's okay for the last two games. Jasmine says, "No, I'm a neutral. I don't like Madrid. However, come on, man, you should have
how
a
can you
lean
be?
towards someone. You can't be a neutral in football. I have no idea how you can really be invested in the game unless you root for someone. You can't be a neutral. This is not fucking golf,
Maybe
right?"
he's a mini Farouk, looking at every team before he finds settles on one.
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah, Farouk sometimes likes to see his football clubs in the same vein as birds. Yeah, chicks. Suitable women. I don't know how to put it. Just Mohit says, but I enjoy you guys discussing and having banter at times. LOL. Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate the love, man. Right. Is there anything else that we need to kind of touch upon? Any other transfer rumors that might interest us? Anything outgoing, incoming?
No, man, I think that's basically it.
Yep.
Till the Mbappe thing happens, I don't think Madrid is going to do anything. Maybe apart from Odriozola leaving,
Yeah,
potentially
or
leaving.
Rizola.
Potentially.
Right. TT maybe says you can't be neutral in golf either. Yeah, I was just saying it. What sport can you be neutral in? Is there a sport you can be neutral in?
I don't know.
I'm struggling.
I have trouble understanding golf as it is, so I don't know. Maybe I might be
Yeah,
neutral.
me too. I've never seen a game in my life apart from Gareth Bale having that hole in one or something. I don't know how do you call it. Anyway, Just Moit says Haaland release clause in 2024 for 200 million. Is that true?
I don't know. I'll just say this: the fact that the agency that represents Haaland, they always like giving players the option, like the freedom to decide their contract, as they say it. So I wouldn't be
Mm,
surprised.
mm. I don't see Mbappe and Haaland both being signed. Seeing how his dad is interested for him to join RMA. Right.
There was
Just
actually an interesting hypothesis, right? The fact is, like, once Haaland won the Champions League and everything, that's when this rumors about the letter and everything leaked. So there was this suggestion that maybe Mbappe is, sort of, I think, pushing to leave PSG and move to Madrid because he's afraid about Haaland hogging all the spotlight and everything. So, and I think last season there was a rumor that Haaland actually decided not to entertain, like, give too much chance to Real Madrid because of the fact that they were scared that Mbappe is going to come to Madrid and take away the spotlight. So I don't know if Mbappe comes, then Haaland is also going to come to Madrid. Although openly they might deny it, but
yeah. TT maybe has a very good example. He says you can be neutral when you watch Barcelona against Athletic. You neutrally want both to lose. Fair enough. That's a good shout. Hassan says, if we can't get Mbappe, go City and put 60 million on the table for Julian Alvarez. Would you do that?
I don't know. And 60 million is a big amount.
I don't think you can pry him away even for 60 million. Julian Alvarez will be a difficult operation. But I think that's pretty much it, people, from us. We try to kind of keep up with all of this. We want to have a mini vacay of sorts during preseason, which is basically the only time we get to, kind of wind down. But boom, there you go. Is it in a month? August the 12th is the first match day?
August 13th.
Away
Yeah.
at San Mames?
Yep.
August 13th, yeah. So it's less than a month.
Yep.
Less than a month. I can't fucking believe how this whole preseason has flown by, man. It's fucking mad. But we'll be having a lot more content on the way, especially tomorrow. Don't forget, we'll be here for the watch along, me and Jacob. Me, obviously, I think even Jacob will be on, the pirated stream. So we'll be a couple of minutes behind the live stream, probably. But we'll kind of, try to keep it moving and whatnot. So yeah, show some love, show some support for the watch along. If you guys can, be here. And Hassan was saying, yes, you can get Juni Calafat to Juni Calafat. You see how Pep works. If he feels a player wants to go, he let them go. We have seen that with Sané. Yeah, probably he's talking about Haaland. Talking about Juni Calafat, we might actually have Juni Calafat when he's retired on the podcast. I'll just say that much because ever since I heard that we might have a possibility to really have a chat with him, man, I can't stop thinking about it. Like it'll be pretty fucking massive for us. I hope I won't be 50 by then. I want him to stay as long as possible with us and sign even more future stars and whatnot. But yeah, the actual thought of actually having him on the podcast is just dizzying for me. Not gonna lie, but I'll reiterate this again. This season is gonna be super special. We'll be having content from the Bernabeu. We'll be having people from the Bernabeu, speaking to fans, previewing games directly from the Bernabeu as well. So this is a huge, massive step up for us as a team. This was a podcast formed by a few lifelong fans that just met up on Reddit. We really don't have any kind of a superstar status. We are not super fans. We don't have individualistic fan followings or or any of that. But this has been a team effort, followed by a lot of sacrifice that has been done to kind of make this happen over the course of 2 years. So yeah, this season is going to be truly special. I'll just say that much. Also, we'll be having Saeed from the Big Six, hopefully on Tuesday, to talk about Manchester United. It's been a long time coming. Like we have been looking for proper excuses to get on the rest of the Big Six. So Saeed being here is going to be proper box office. I'll finally have my moment, true moment to kind of kind of top-down united. I've been waiting for this moment for so many years. I have a platform finally, hopefully on Tuesday. Also, big up all of our listeners on our audio platforms. We recently hit 30K. If you haven't read our tweet or our Instagram post, it took us 1 year to get to 10K, 6 months to get to 20K, uh, just barely 2 months to get to 30K. So it's been massive, massive support from all of you, man. This kind of love was something that I dreamt of, the day that we kind of started this podcast. So to actually see it truly happening, unfolding, in front of our very eyes is truly, truly humbling. So big up all of you, man. Big up every one of you, in the chat. Hassan, Ashik, all of you guys, just more. It has always been here to, support us and, show some love. Also, friendly reminder, we have over 800 followers on Spotify. Last week when we did the Arda Gula special with Lara Karajan, I had mentioned we have over 800 followers and just 30 reviews on Spotify. We need to get that number up. I'm not gonna canvas you for getting 5-star reviews only. Give us your feedback. We need more reviews, man. The reviews to followers ratio should be much, much better. Um,
I mean,
Also,
even on
don't
Apple Music, right? Even on Apple, sorry, Apple, I'm saying, even on Apple Podcasts.
Apple
Everybody listening on
Podcasts.
Apple Podcasts as well.
Yeah. Do put in your reviews, man. It'll help us a long way, because again, this is something that we do on the side. This is not our primary job, To make this happen, we have to make a lot of sacrifices from every end. Right. Also, don't forget to support our partners on Instagram. Real Madrid Committee, they run a brilliant fan page. Go and check them out. Hopefully, the next Mbappe special is going to be a here we go. Fingers crossed, it's going to be massive. It's going to be a massive couple of weeks. I have this feeling. I really do have this feeling it's going to be truly special this month and the beginning of August. But until next time, people, Hala Madrid.
Hala
Hala
Madrid.
Madrid.